Hey guys, it's Mike, and everything sucks. So I wanted to take a real quick minute here to address these websites are horrible nowadays. Sorry. Anyway, I wanted to address the whole, I guess, controversy. I'd call it a non-controversy about Cyberpunk 2077 team is having to do mandatory overtime coming up to the release date here. Now, the main thing I'm noticing that people are upset about is that the head of the studio last year basically had, or the co-founder, I'm sorry, it was the co-founder, Marcin Iwinski. I apologize, I probably butchered that. But he was speaking and talking with Jason Schreier, mentioning that they did not want to do anything kind of crunch time or manual overtime for their games, which I will admit that was extremely stupid of him to say that. You cannot predict what's going to happen with your games in the future. There are always deadlines for everything, and there's always times when things get busy. Let's say you want to release a big game. Like I know they say they wanted to do the online for this game. Okay, so what happens if you go to release the online for this and it's completely and utterly broken? Like something goes wrong and you have to completely fix the game that's already been released. You're going to have to call in your workers for some crunch time to get that squared away. So, like I said, for him to say that we're never going to do crunch time was him just being disingenuous from the beginning. Because, like I said, every company has to do that. An example I could say, I know this isn't the same industry, but it's just an example of everybody needs crunch time, is I used to work for UPS. And when I worked there, we'd normally work like a 4 or 5 hour shift. It was a part-time shift loading up the trucks and everything. But when Christmas time and the holidays came around, we got extremely busy, like triple the amount of packages. So we had to put in manual overtime. We got compensated for it, which is what I think should happen, but it's just kind of the nature of the game. Like, if you don't like it, quit, go find another job. I know people don't like to hear that, but it's just kind of the way it is. So the main thing with Cyberpunk here, from what I'm seeing, I don't know why people are a little bit upset about this. It seems like what they're going to have to do is end up working the equivalent of basically 6 days a week until the release in November. Now, I think the reason that they're doing this crunch, you can actually see that it's Adam Badowski is tweeting here that the last 6 weeks is their final sprint in a project that they spent much time on. And it's something that he did not want to do, but they could not think of any other way to get this out for release date. Now, anybody that's been paying attention to this stuff should realize that this game has already been pushed back twice. They're probably getting pushed back to where they can't basically delay the game any further at this point, especially since from what it's sounding like, it's literally just about finding bugs at this point. It seems like the game itself is done, which I would assume with, only 2 months to go. So this crunch time is actually just to find the bugs. So if they actually find the bugs before the last 6 weeks, I'm sure that they'll probably, cut down on those hours there. But the main thing here is that they are being well compensated for every extra hour they put in, and like in recent years, 10% of the annual profit from their company generates in 2020 will be split directly among the team. I don't see the problem here. I really don't. They're being compensated. If you're being paid for the overtime, there's literally no reason to be upset about that. You're being paid for the overtime. I have heard other places and it is bad, like these other game companies that'll do crunch and you don't get any bonuses. You don't get any overtime. That's bullshit. That I hate completely. But if you have to work some overtime because your job's almost done and you got to push that final bit through, hell, I've done that when I was working construction. We're trying to finish up a job really quick, and me and my boss will have to work, like maybe that week we work until, 9 p.m. when normally we work like 9 to 5. It's just something that happens no matter where you are. As long as you're compensated, there's nothing wrong with that. Now, if you can't be compensated, then you've got some problems, and I think the workers should definitely be, I don't want to say ready to revolt, but basically, yeah, it's like you're not paying me for my extra work, so screw you, basically. So I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt because CD Projekt Red has always treated everybody nice and fairly. In fact, I forgot where it was said. I thought it was in one of these other articles here. But he was saying that it's gamers look up to them. It says, we are well known for treating gamers with respect, Iwinski said. And it says, I would actually like for us to be known for treating developers with respect. So, like I said, as long as they're compensating the developers, I don't see too much wrong with this. Crunch time happens with all of us. It's just a question of how it's handled. And so far, it seems to be being handled. I can't talk in this this video, guys. Sorry, but it seems to be being handled very well so far. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Do you think manual overtime's bullshit to begin with, or as long as they're compensated? And remember to leave a like and subscribe for more.